Oh, hey folks, and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So there's been quite an interesting Q&A that dropped today, and I thought we'd have a quick look through it and have a look at some of the more pertinent questions as we are going through. So we're just going to take a look at a few of them and find out a bit more about the itemization rework. And from what I've read so far, it is actually quite interesting, and there are quite a few nice changes coming that I think are going to kind of ease over the fact that there is still quite a lot of RNG in the system. But this should take the sting out of it. So let's start with the first question, shall we? If one has a complete blessings library for a specific weapon type, could you expect to have their mastery fully completed, or will you add mandatory grind? All right, let's go for the answer. If you have a complete blessing library for a specific weapon, you will have all of your mastery for that specific weapon completed. There will be no additional grind. So the advice I've been giving out for the last month or so has been to collect as many blessings as you can and just chuck them into your library. Just buy weapons from Brunt's Armory. If you haven't got the blessing, pick it up and claim it. How does the every tier of one blessing gets calculated into the what? How does the every tier of one blessing gets calculated into the head start in mastery? Jesus Christ, Godzilla's having a stroke there. Do players get more points in mastery from one single blessing if they have unlocked all tiers of that blessing, or do they have the highest tier count? Jesus. Unpleasantly written question. All tiers are taken into consideration for the specific weapon family, with higher tiers being more important in the calculation to reach max mastery. You will only need about 70-80% of the blessings available. Now, this is going to be really important later on. I have read through some of these already, and there's a real question here that is actually quite pertinent to all of this, and it kind of sums everything up. But we'll get to that. We'll just run through a few more. With the itemization rework, can we expect a rework toward sour milks with or after the update, since most of us use it to gain higher tier blessings that we don't already have? Yes, sour milk will give higher tier equipment than before. Higher tier referring to blessings and power of the weapon. So they are releasing more blessings. So tier 4 is no longer going to be the cap for blessings. They haven't said whether they're going to like tier 10 or tier 6 or whatever. They haven't given the cap for it yet, but we do know tier 4 is no longer the highest, so there will all be stuff to work towards. So Sire Milk, Sire Milk, I keep calling him Sour Milk, he will be selling higher tier stuff, so do hold on to your Sour Milk fun bucks until the patch. Like, my advice would be from now until the actual patch comes out, don't spend anything. Keep hold of your Plastil, keep hold of your Diamantine, keep hold of your Sour Milk Fun Bucks. This is what we want to hold on to until the 26th of September. Okay, next one. Is the new crafting system you mentioned we can unlock? Oh, god damn, they really should have reformatted these questions. In the new crafting system, you mentioned we can unlock the blessing that we want using the mastery experience. If I want to unlock a tier 4 blessing of a lasgun, let's say Ghost, do I have to unlock all tier 1 through 3 blessings of the lasgun to access the tier 4 blessing page? Or can I simply unlock tier 1 to 3 of Ghost and access tier 4 without unlocking other blessings? No, you will not need to unlock from tier 1 to tier 3 blessings on the last gun to access the tier 4, which is really good. There will be a minimum requirement of lower tier blessings to be unlocked before reaching the next level, but it will not be all of the previous tier. So that is, it's not going to be as much of a grind as we think, from at least from what they're saying. I mean, I'm not defending them, I'm not trying to anything. It's literally just from what they've said, it doesn't look like it's going to be as much of a grind. How much my 1084 1214 blessings will contribute to mastery? All 1084 of your blessings will be taken into account, and then all unlocked blessings will be taken into consideration when transferring a weapon to the new system. Doesn't really answer anything, that one. What happens to my weapons in the inventory that have blessings on them I don't have unlocked? Sorry, it's been a knackering day. uh, that I don't have unlocked. Will they just stay the same, and I only can't use the blessings on another weapon? Okay, good question, this one. Items will remain the same. Therefore, the unlocked blessings will not be taken into account when it comes to the translation of Blessings Library into Mastery. Any unlocked blessings will exist on the weapon itself, and they cannot be transferred to another weapon. Okay, so definitely, if you have any blessings in your inventory on weapons that you've got sitting about, put them into your library. Okay? Because once this transition happens, they're worth nothing. Well, almost nothing. We'll get to that in a little bit. There is something we can do with F. Oh God, why am I? Basically, we'll be able to crunch weapons, any weapon, and crunch it down into experience for a different weapon. It won't be as much experience as if you're using the same weapon family. Say the eviscerator. You can use any weapon to get eviscerator experience. Say a las gun, but it won't be as much as if you were using an eviscerator, crunching it down to get eviscerator experience, if that makes sense. Question. When Straw Hat said that players will begin with a head start in the new system, does that mean that... Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm really sorry, it's been a horrifically long day. I'm absolutely shattered. We'll get a head start into the new system. Does that mean that we won't have access to blessings we did previously, and therefore forcing us to grind for the new tiers all over again? Is this from the last Q? This is from the last Q&A post. You did not answer my question regarding the transfer. I currently have collected all level 4 blessings for my favourite weapons, but I did not collect any level 3, nor any level 2, nor any level 1. You could have just said I didn't collect any other blessings, but I will. After the transfer, will I still have access to all level 4 blessings? Yes and no. It will depend on how you are building your new mastery track. In the worst case scenario, playing 1 or 2 games would be necessary to have it all. We saw that having tier 1, tier 2 blessings were less common for most people at max level. Good. So, okay. So this is quite important, this bit, guys. I'm just going to highlight it. Tier 1 and 2 blessings were less common for those at max level. Yeah, they are. Because at higher level weapons, so like say between 360 to 380, the chances of having a tier 1 or tier 2 blessing on them is very low compared to, say, having a tier 3 or tier 4. It would feel too punishing if we put much weight on asking players to have all of these lower tiers in order to reach max mastery. Therefore, we will be weighing tier 4 blessings in such a way that you won't encounter that grind. This is very, very, very important. And I think this is something a lot of people have been worried about. The fact that most of us aren't going to have the tier 1 and tier 2 blessings. I mean, if you look back at the double barrel shotgun that they released, and I can't remember what the blessing was, but it was a tier 2 blessing, but it basically made the weapon broken. You know, it was so overpowered, but it was such a pain in the arse to grind because max level people don't encounter tier 2 blessings that often, especially if you're rolling them up from grey to transcendent or green to transcendent. The only way you're seeing them is in Brunt's stupid pachinko machine armory. So this is a very good point, and it should bring us all a little bit more sounder mind, because we aren't going to have to like hunt around for these things. I do still suggest, if you do see them and you don't have them, buy them and strip the blessings off now. It will save you a huge amount of hassle later on. But this does take the weight off. Okay, that weapons are still locked at 380, and that you'll still be hunting for the perfect stat distribution-based weapon is kind of insane, to be honest. Okay, this is a good question. With the new system, players will be able to freely change between marks of weapon family as they progress in the master track. This means the player will only be searching for the base weapon with the stats distribution that they want. But that's exactly what he's asking. This stupid system of, okay, I've got a high level grey weapon, but oh my god, the damage is at 20% and defense and mobility are at 80. Well, it's bricked. I've got to find another one, or whatever kind of distribution that you're looking for. So they haven't really answered that. Rather than searching for the preferred stat distribution on each individual mark, yeah, I get that, but still, That said, a player will be able to play with the best weapon that they found, and then with minor investment be able to change to a better weapon once it's been found. They haven't answered the question here at all. This has not been answered. So sadly, folks, it does look like we're still going to have to play the Brunt's Pachinko bullshit machine to find decent versions of blank weapons. So that part of the grind is not going anywhere, it seems. They could have just gone the Vermintide 2 route, which is just let us make perfectly rolled blanks. I mean, okay. It's the system we're going to have to live with. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it right now. Hopefully down the line, they will once again wake up and go, oh, wait, the crafting system's a bit shit. But, we'll have to wait and see. Next question. Worse still, the broken locks are time-gated. Want to freely swap around tier 4 blessings? Gotta have maxed mastery on that weapon family first. This is incorrect. Players will get access to the best blessings before reaching the actual end of the mastery curve. Okay. That's good. But also, I will point out here, they're also going off the basis of a brand new player to the system that doesn't have hundreds of these goddamn blessings already unlocked, maybe 1,000 of them. So most of us aren't going to encounter this because most people have got quite a lot of time invested into the game. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. Question. Well, it's a pretty huge difference that you can't change perks or blessings, nor can you cash in a blessing into a library. It's all about the grind first. And depending on if Straw Hat was careful with the wording or not, you have to unlock all tier 1 blessings to unlock a single tier 2 blessing. Yeah, this guy's not read the comments before him. And I mean, this, not on this, but obviously in the post. You will not need to unlock all tier 1 blessings to unlock all tier 2 blessings. Furthermore, you can change around the perks and blessings on a weapon as much as you want. Yeah, the locks are all going, guys. Perks and blessings can be changed freely at will. The only thing we can't change is the stat distribution on the blank weapon that it comes in. We can increase the stats, but the actual percentage distribution of how it originally is will not change. Okay, so like I said before, if the weapon comes with 50% damage but 80% mobility, penetration, all that rubbish, damage will still be its lowest stat. Even if you upgrade it through the expertise system, it will still be the lowest stat. You might be able to upgrade it to 80% while everything else is at 100, but it will still be lower. Okay, so the blank of the weapon is the only thing that really matters now. Okay. Also, allowing Hadron to still concentrate items to let people brute force it with enough currency is a good choice, but if you still need to unlock the blessings when an entirely new family of weapons comes out, that will still hamper people who like to experiment, even if the mastery grind isn't that long. Answer. As players are free to unlock blessings they want in whatever order they want, players will be able to fairly quickly unlock the blessings choices they want to experiment with after just unlocking a few tiers of mastery of a weapon. Since we are adding more tiers to each blessing, they haven't said how many, and making them all available at tier 1, players will quickly be able to unlock the gameplay potential of a blessing. This allows players to be able to create the build they want sooner, though it will take a bit longer to unlock the most powerful versions of that build. We are also introducing a sacrificing system, so this is what I was talking about earlier, to allow players to sacrifice weapons to get mastery experience for a weapon family. This gives players even more avenues to gain mastery within a weapon family outside of only playing with that weapon. For example, a new weapon comes out, players will be able to sacrifice any other unwanted weapon, even those from completely different weapon families, to get a head start on mastery. Note, if it's the same weapon, more mastery experience will be given versus if it's a different weapon. Too long didn't read. Weapons a player no longer wants can be sacrificed to get a head start. I like that. That is a good choice. It's a good choice in the system. So if you've got a load of bricked weapons you just can't do anything with, there you go. We've got a use for them now. Question. When you say the system will merge all weapon types families, meaning will be freely switched between different marks of the same weapon type. For example, once you own an infantry lasgun, you have the potential to unlock all possible marks of this weapon and switch from marks from one to another. What does this mean for weapons that are their own? Staves and Kickback a Rumbler don't share blessings but do models. I can answer this already. They're not going to let us do it. They may not be on their own. Plasma Bolter, Ogren Power Maul, Crusher, Hack Shotgun. Weapons that do not share but still might get a variant. Stub Revolver, Chainsaw, Chain Axe, Eviscerator. Weapons that share model skins but not blessings. These will be classified as different weapon families. Called it. Therefore, getting each their own mastery tract and separate blessing trees. Weapons that currently have only one mark, these will be classified as separate weapon families and get their own mastery tract with blah 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 blah. Oingo, boingo, boingo, no. Weapons that have multiple variants of the same weapons are called marks and will be included in the same weapon family. Each family will receive its own mastery tract. Different weapons families that are similar, like chainsaws and eviscerators, will still have separate mastery tracks. Some blessings will appear in multiple mastery tracks, but each blessing needs to be separately unlocked in each blessing tree. As I said, no. One nice factor of the system is that when we do add more marks to a weapon family, they will be unlocked in the mastery system instead of diluting the loot pool and making it harder for you to obtain the weapon you want from the loot system previously. Every time we release a new mark for a weapon, we made it harder to get any specific weapon from the loot pool, and the new system removes the problem and will make the addition of new marks purely positive. Kind of. Every weapon is created with a pool of stat points that have been distributed in different stat buckets, and each weapon has the same potential maximum number of stats that can be distributed. Is there a way to remove points from one bucket to add to another? No, there's not. They're not going to allow us to do that. It'd be far too fun. While keeping the investment cap from the, I can already see it, expertise in mind. No, it will not be possible. Each weapon will be generated with a varied maximum cap on each stat. So, as I said, folks, you get back into your Brunt's pachinko machine bullshit and you spend all your money on it, right? There'll be no fun. In the overall power of weapons remaining the same, or will a newly maxed out weapon with this new system give more damage power stats? The overall power of all weapons will remain the same as before. Question, what makes a weapon go to 380? Let's say I roll the dice at Brunts and get a 340 sword. That sword can now go from 340 to 380. If so, how? By concentrating it. Every weapon will have the potential to reach 380. The power system, formerly referred to as expertise, is where you can make that happen by empowering a weapon through the use of crafting materials. That's slightly wrong of them. So what he's saying is, if I get a blank 340, can I turn it into a 380? No, you can't. What you can do, though, is use the expertise system to boost that 340 to make it a bit better. But there is no point. You want a weapon that is as close to 380 as you can get, with the best stat distribution you can get, and then put it through the expertise system. A 340 weapon is never going to be as good as a 380 weapon. And I mean blanks here, so grey versions of these weapons. Okay? So don't get excited and think that you can boost up a 340 to be better. You can't. The stat boosts are always going to be... the buckets, as in they said in the last few questions, are always going to be how they roll. You still need to find that decent version. Question, when viewing any weapon, it will show the weapon's maximum potential stats. These stats will be randomly determined. It's up to the player to decide if the weapon profile is interesting enough for them to commit and increase the stats until reaching this potential, which are then applied to the weapon through the expertise system. Does this mean that we can choose to fill things from 0 to cap for each different stat? You cannot select where the points are going exactly. It will be automatic increase to each stat. Again, as I said, the grey system is still exactly how it always has been. It's just going from grey to transcendent that has changed. Empower, formerly expertise, mastery. I think the gist is that blessings we've unlocked get converted to mastery XP that we can then spend to put whatever we like on the new weapon. Correct, the blessings on a specific weapon are converted into mastery XP. for that weapons family. However, the mastery XP is bespoke to that weapon. I like that word. To that weapon family, and is not universal to be applied to any weapon you like. Question. So if I understood correctly, we long-term players skip mastery and go straight into expertise and can attribute perks and blessings freely at material cost. The idea is weapons will be converted over to the new system. The mastery XP is determined by the blessings that are unlocked on the weapon itself. The more blessings unlocked, the higher tier of the blessings unlocked, the more XP that is gained for the weapon family. Then using crafting materials, players can empower their weapons and apply the perks and blessings as they wish. Also, we have mentioned above the ability to sacrifice unwanted weapons in order to increase mastery XP at a player's discretion. I do like the sacrificing the weapons thing. It means that I've got hundreds of bricked weapons on my account and I can finally do something with them. Question. I was wondering, to get the maximum amount of mastery XP for a weapon group, do I need to unlock every single tier of every blessing for getting the maximum XP for that? I have all tier 4 blessings but never bothered with the lower blessings. They've already answered this. Players will not need every blessing of weapon family to achieve max mastery upon instruction to the system. We are looking for at something like having all tier 4, tier 3 blessings will be enough to max out mastery. I sure as hell don't have all tier 3. Question. Would it be possible to add a new item filter into the shop and crafting menu which sorts items from their maximum potential to lowest? That would help a lot when min-maxing gear. Well, every weapon will have the max potential of 380, however we will be adding a filter so players can sort by the current power rating. Good. Question. Is this update going to come with balancing changes? A lot of us feel the game is too easy, even on the hardest difficulties. Right now, weapons like plasma gun, revolver... Oh, you absolute dickbag. This person, he's the type of person that reminds the teacher that you've got homework. Screw this guy. And if this is your question, screw you. Revolver and knife makes... yeah, there we go. There he is, reminding the teacher we should have had homework. The experience way too easy, for instance. I understand you guys try your best to nerf player, not to nerf players, but sometimes a player really do need it. Some enemy buffs would be welcome. Oh, screw you. We are aware of this problem and try to balance the game accordingly. Still, as different players will see balance changes differently, we want to be careful and try to respect all players' investments in the game. Hopefully the mastery system will allow us to be a bit more forthright with balance changes, since it will make it easier for players to adapt to any new meta in the game without having to rely on RNG systems to do so. We are also working on other features that will address this problem, but more news about them in the future when they're in a more solid state to share. Screw you, question this guy. Oh, teacher, aren't we supposed to have a test today? Yeah, that's you. Look, looks good. Generally hope there are cosmetic rewards for fully master your weapon. Come on, Fat Shark, just one free skin, just a scrap. There will be cosmetic rewards per weapon. Ooh, okay. That's nice. Yeah, I like that. We're almost done, folks, don't worry. Almost there. Are curos also implemented in this system somehow? Currently, you can't even buy them from Brent's Armory store. Curos are not a part of this overhaul. We are, however, thinking of ways to make curos more fun and engaging. We felt that we could tackle the bigger problem of weapons first and give curos the time and attention they need to become a more interesting part of the player's loadout at a later time. However, we will note that the locks will be removed from curos as well. This means players will be able to change anything at any time aside from the base property of itself. Thank Christ for that. So now all you have to do, very simple, it's these three things. You see a Curo with 3 stamina on, you buy it. You see a Curo with 21% health on, you buy it. You see a Curo with 17% toughness on, you buy it. That's all you have to do. And then you just spec them however you want. All right, that answers blah 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 blah. Let's just go back to this question right here. Oh, teacher, I don't like people having fun. Oh, screw you. Anyway, folks, that is the Q&A for the unlocked and loaded patch. I think there's some really good things in there. There is some stuff to actually be excited about. I am looking forward to this patch quite a lot. But as I said, save your resources from now on. Honestly, this is we've got like just under a month. Buy any weapons from Brunt's Armory that have blessings you don't have. Buy the weapons from Brunt's Armory that are rolled really high and really well. You can use these as blanks later. Hold on to all of your Diamantine Plasteel and Sire Melk's Fun Bucks. And don't be that guy that reminds the teacher that we've got homework, because it's a dick move. Anyway, that's the video, folks. I hope you enjoyed. If you have, please do like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And I shall see you all for the next one. So until then, take it easy, and I'll see you later.